Welcome back to our next video in the video series from Malden Public Schools that's helping you understand and get a better sense of the tools and resources your students are using in this online learning environment. So in this video, what we'll explore is the process that your students engage in when they turn in assignments through Google Classroom. So as you can see here, there's two assignments that have already been populated in this Google Classroom section, and I'll walk you through both of them. And they're both slightly different. The first assignment here listed is an example of an assignment that a teacher creates when they attach a file ahead of time for the student to the assignment. This can be a Google document, Google Slides, any Google file where the teacher is actually making a duplicate copy of the assignment for every student. The other assignment that I have as a model here is one the teacher has created when they have not provided a file and the student has to create their own document and attach it. We'll start with this one and then progress to the next version. So let's open up the assignment where the teacher has not given a file to the student. They've just given them the writing task or the prompt or the directions. So you can see here, assignment demo, no file provided, and the directions to the student is please attach your writing assignment as a Google document to this assignment and turn it in. So let's view the assignment and notice there's no file that's been provided. So the student has an option. They can add or create. And if they tap on this button up here in the top right-hand corner, they can create a file to start working in. Or if they already have the file that they've built ahead of time, they can simply grab that file from their Google Drive account. It may be a file that's online, like a video, and they can grab the link. Or if it's something like a Word document or a PowerPoint file, they could attach that and turn that into their teacher. In this case, I, role-playing the student, will create my own document. I'll give Google Classroom a moment to create that file for me, and then I will open the file by clicking here. I will simulate turning this in. So I'll just put an example of student work. So student writing goes here. And now notice in the document itself, there's a button here to turn it in. Or if I don't click on that button as the student, what I can always do is go back to Google Classroom and simply tap Turn In to send that file to my teacher. So it's confirming, would you really like to turn that in? Absolutely. I'm turning that into my teacher right now. And that file will no longer be listed on my to-do list of outstanding assignments. Let's go back to the Google Classroom classwork page and look at the next assignment. Now notice the one that we just turned in has been grayed out because it's completed and turned in. The one that's still color-coded with the color scheme of the course is still lit up in the orange color because I haven't completed it or turned that in yet. So we can see here it has a due date of November 9th, and it has been pre-created as I go into the assignment with a file that my teacher has already created for me. I can tap to open the file that has already been created. And you'll see here, the teacher has given me a prompt of my name and the date. And then there would be a question or an assignment for me to work on. And I'll do the same thing. Example of student work goes here. That's where the child or the student would write. And again, I have a turn in button inside of the document that I can tap on. Or I can go back to Google Classroom and click Turn In. Now, if I need to communicate with my teacher before turning that in or at any point, I can always write a message here. So this would be a student message to their teacher. And the teacher will see that even before the student turns in the file. There can be a back and forth about the work before the student submits it. So now I will click Turn In. And again, the confirmation page, yes, I would like to turn that into my teacher. I'll wait for that to be submitted. Now, notice with both assignments, I've submitted that to my teacher. And as soon as a student submits work and turns it in, the student can no longer edit the work. Now, if I open that same file, I only have the ability to view this document. If I would like to work on it again, I would have to unsubmit that from the teacher, pull it back, and then I have editing rights, and now the student can work on that again. So those are the two primary experiences that students will have when turning in work through Google Classroom. If they go to view their work, you'll notice it has a list of all of the work, and I have a note to myself that both of those have been turned in. That's one way that I can get a quick view of any outstanding assignments. The other option that I have is when I go to the big overview of Google Classroom as a student, I have a to-do list. And when I click on the to-do list and I go to done, notice the two assignments that I've turned in and I've turned them in early are listed here. If I need to open them back up, from my to-do list, under work that has been done and completed, I can click to open the files, possibly unsubmit, and continue to work on them because they've been turned in early. So that's our quick overview of the process students will go through when they are turning in work through Google Classroom. I hope this video is helpful and valuable, and please join us for the next video in our series as we continue to explore the technology primarily through Google Classroom that your students will be using in this hybrid and remote learning environment.